Hello, welcome to another training. This is a big one. This is what's going to help you attract your ideal client by speaking to your niches. I'm going to get into that and explain to you what I mean by that. So Alex Hormozi says you will get, if you don't speak to the niches, you could get niche slapped. And I absolutely love that. And I'll tell you what that means. Another way of saying it is if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. So the reason why niches are so important, it's going to draw out your ideal client or your client avatar. So in this workbook, niches and avatar, page 13 in your Take Action workbook, when you invest in the $47 that I hope I will be seeing you on for Invincible Lender in the upcoming days, it is $47 that will absolutely change your business. It will change your life. It will also change your business. It's one and the same. So the reason why niches and client avatar is so important is, again, because if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. And when you're not speaking to the niches, you're not problem solving. You're making your videos about you. I see so many of my students and non-students, my students when they first enroll, I should say, that they're saying things like this on social media. Call me with all your mortgage needs. Call me to get pre-approved. Apply for a loan today. Visit my website. Nobody is going to go to your website and just love the heck out of your canned, boring website. People are not going to call you with their mortgage needs when they don't know what that need is. They don't even know that there's a problem sometimes. So they're unaware that they lack a skill or knowledge or information, or that they are stuck. Sometimes they feel like it's too much to own a home and it's safer to rent. So they don't not even aware, and it's called unconscious incompetence. They're not even aware that there's a problem. So that's why speaking to your niches is so important. So let me give you an example. If I did a video that says, and I help my students with one of this, if I did a video that said, call me to get pre-approved and visit my website now. One of my students said he was running Google ads, driving people to his website. And he had an issue because he got like 53 clicks and he spent like $800 on it for Google ads. And so I said, well, let me see your ads. It was this like fake, I don't even know, it was a military person, probably wasn't a military person, lifting up his wife on a still graphic, had nothing to do with my student. There was no hook, there was no value, there was no nothing. And it said like, call me for VA loans. I'm like, well, okay. Problem number one is your ad is canned. And number two, as they're driving traffic to your website, there's no pop-up, there's no lead magnet, they're not going there to get a freebie, you're not capturing their email address, there's nothing there. So people don't know what to do. And 99.9% of the time, people are going to want to talk to you, especially if off a Google ad, right? To find out who you are before they give you a social and a birthday and all that. It's that razor's edge difference between making a decision to market that way or making a decision to market the other way. So my student, his niche was VA loans, one of his niches. And so I had him do a Facebook ad, just a Zoom recording. He used the flag filter in the back, and he talked about his personal story about being in the military, how we helped himself get a VA loan, how we can help the audience, the viewer. Ran that as a Facebook ad, put way less money behind it than $800. I think he spent like $263. He got 23 solid leads from it and closed loans from it. That's the cutting edge difference between speaking to everybody, speaking to nobody, being canned, call me with your mortgage needs, visit my website, versus what I'm going to teach you right now. So specialized knowledge is huge. It's one of the universal laws of success that in Think and Grow Rich, they talk about, and I share a lot of that in my event. So that's one of the pieces to the success pyramid. So the reason why you want to, I'll just read it here. Client avatar deep dive is identifying and analyzing our ideal clients based off of behaviors, traits, and other intricate details. This will allow us to unlock marketing backdoors and shortcuts to draw out our ideal audience like a magnet. Another way to say it is, if I was saying, call me with your mortgage needs versus top 3 misconceptions of a first-time home buyer loan. Number 1, that you have to have perfect credit. Number 2, that you have to have 20% down. That is simply not true. We have this product. Number 3, that you call a real estate agent first. You call me first. I help you come up with a plan to get I help you get your offer strong and accepted. And you do a 60-second video speaking to that first-time home buyer. That's your niche. That's your ideal client. And you're speaking exactly to them. You're giving them value and you're solving their problem because they thought that they needed 20% down, or that they called a realtor first, or that they need to have perfect credit. Okay. So that's how you draw out your ideal client. So let's talk about your niches now. Let's think of some general demographic and socioeconomics data. Who are they? What gender are they? Age, married, single, what occupation? Where do they live? Now, this isn't to say like, I want to work with only women or only men. Think of that one favorite client, narrow it down using things like this, and then you can go, ooh, I want more of Susie XYZ favorite client. They gave me a 5-star review, didn't rate shop me, just trusted me. She was great with her paperwork. She didn't have me do 9 million different spreadsheets. And, that's my perfect client avatar. So someone that just says, Tiff, I trust you. I've been watching your stuff online. You came to me from this awesome real estate agent or this divorce attorney or CPA or wherever I get the business. And the trust is already built there because I know how to win before I arrive. So if you don't have that stuff built yet, and trust me, I didn't at first either, then you want to identify that one person and start speaking to them. So occupation, this is important because are you speaking to, is their job a real estate investor? So if that's one of your niches, you should have about 4 or 5 that you're always consistently working. So if your jam is a real estate investor, then obviously their occupation is not W-2'd at Google or Workday or something. They are a full-time real estate investor. So that means that your niches are bank statement loans, pulling out equity lines to on their current houses to pay other ones off in cash, and then how to get another loan to recoup the cash or whatever it looks like to you, DSCR loans, all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm just throwing out options there. So you want to know their occupation. If they are a restaurant owner, you want to do bank statement loans. If they work at Google or Workday and they're W-2'd, and they have like a lot of restricted stock. I know Tesla, I ran into that with a lot of the restricted stock stuff. Then you need to know how to speak about that when you're doing your videos. And if it's first time home buyer, then their occupation, maybe they work at DoorDash or Uber or Safeway or something, and they're just getting started. They're younger adults. Then you need to speak to them. So identify this. Where do they live? I had a student that said, Tiff, I'm licensed everywhere. So like, it doesn't matter. It does. When you generalize everything as a whole and you're speaking to the whole United States, it's going to be really hard for you to become the authority in your market, to be a community market leader. So yes, those are opportunities later that you can build on, but you have to build a strong foundation through doing stuff like this so that when you built that strong foundation, you go decorate the house or paint the walls or make it better, everything's very strong. You can rinse and repeat. If you're licensed in California and you get licensed in Nevada, you rinse and repeat the niches, the pillars, the speaking about the market, they're talking about being the local lender. You run your Facebook ads and you target that area. Your hashtags on organic posts say hashtag Nevada real estate, Nevada top mortgage lender, Nevada mortgage loans. I mean, whatever that is. And you keep rinsing and repeating that system. But again, you have to build that strong foundation first. So where do they live? For me, anywhere in California. So I do videos that say, if you top 3 misconceptions of a first-time home buyer, and then, by the way, I'm a full-time coach now. I give all of my loans to Gabby Gotti, the California mortgage girl, and I have my license hung at Groves. So I'm able to just benefit a little bit from it, but I'm a full-time coach because I'm here to support you through so many of the losses and wins that I have worked my way through, and I cracked the code and I want to help you. So again, California, I reminded somebody that I am a first-time homebuyer niche and I do loans all of California, not just Contra Costa County and Alameda County. One of my best friends from kindergarten that I kind of lost touch with, she said, Tiff, thank you for doing that video because I'm in Riverside, California, and I'm buying a house right now. I didn't even think I could use you because you're in Northern California. So I drew out my perfect avatar, my perfect client, based on the niches I was talking about and identifying where they live and what I was going to share on my video. So go through this when you invest the $47 what do they work? What do they do for work? How do they feel about their job? Are they about to leave and go start flipping houses, or are they trying to get promoted? Are they just getting started and they're waiting for 2 years W-2s to come around? So you want to nurture them, put them in your CRM and start creating that echo in your business. Where do they make purchases? Do they have high credit card debt? Do they save a lot of money and they purchase their cars, or they pay them off on cash, or are they just like loaded up with debt? I have a lot of clients for a while there I was doing jumbo loans, and it's crazy to me. I'll put this down for a sec. It's crazy to me the amount of jumbo loans that I was doing. I was seeing that people's money habits were really bad. Yes, they lived in a $2 million house. Yes, they had fancy purses, but when I ran their credit, they had oodles and oodles of debt, the husband and the wife, and they were almost like, where does this all go? So I made one of my niches talking about your relationship with money and the difference between being like wealthy and just being like feeling rich in the moment, and the defining difference between money flows easily and frequently. However, if you're spending wildly and you're not respecting the money is like a love relationship. It's going to leave you if you don't respect it and value it, and you're just blowing it on $1,000 purses and whatever. Okay. So nothing wrong with treating yourself once in a while, but you want to identify if that's the kind of client that you want, because it's future refinances, no matter what rates are doing. And number two, if jumbo real estate is your jam, you can talk about things like that. If you identify that they have common habits and traits, then great. If you're like, oh, one of my students said, Tiff, but I loved jumbo real estate and jumbo loans, and I'm so good at that stuff, but everybody has their 2 something, 3 something percent. And a lot of my clients, they're set. You can still have that be your niche, because those people, a lot of them, and when we narrowed down the average age of her clients, they were in their 50s and 60s. They know the power of saving money, generational wealth. They actually were very good with their money. They weren't like some of them I've experienced in my Danville, Contra Costa area of clients over the last 5-6 years. So she said, actually, they're pretty good with money and they're all set. So do I change my niche? I said, hell no, absolutely not. Here's what you do. They know the power of generational wealth. They know the power of owning real estate, and they want that for their adult children. Their adult children are stuck in the rent cycle. A lot of parents don't know that you can gift your children money and use that for the down payment on a loan. I actually had one of my past clients call and ask, and she said, Tiff, is that okay? Is that legal? I'm like, heck yeah, it's legal. That's amazing. We do that all the time. Teaching them about an equity line, or leveraging their IRA, or co-signing for their child, their adult child. If they don't want to give them money and they're not comfortable, but they're willing to co-sign, being a non-occupant co-signer, and then maybe their child's going to have roommates. So can you see how this can work for your business? When you start talking about these things and you nut it down in bite-sized pizzas on your niches, you will draw out your perfect client, your perfect avatar. So again, that's a mini training for today, but we go very deep into this in the 3-day event. So I hope this was helpful. Remember, if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. No more videos on, if you do a video and you spend your 60 seconds, and it's going to take you a lot longer if you're just getting started at video, but your 60-second long average video, you can either spend that 60 seconds saying, making it about you and saying, call me with your mortgage needs, apply for a loan, visit my website, get pre-approved today. Or you can spend that same 60 seconds with a hook, value, solving a problem, and a call to action based on your niches to draw out and attract business instead of chasing it the way that the other video example I gave you is. So again, hope that was helpful. Hope to see you in Invincible Lender, and thank you so much. Take care.